Mankind Pharma will acquire Bharat Serums and Vaccines from Advent International.
Now, this deal is pegged at an enterprise value of about 13,000 crore rupees for 100% of Bharat Serum and Vaccines from Advent International. Now, Bharat Serum and Vaccine has emerged as a key player in women's health and fertility drug market, and this would definitely give a step up to Mankind as they now look to enter this market.
Now, this will be funded by internal accruals and mix of debt and equity. Company also received shareholder nod for equity raise of up to 7,500 crore via QIP and raised additional debt limit of rupees 2,000 crore to 12,500 crore.
This is a very big deal for Mankind. So, in a way, this is going all in one deal for the company because they've kept all their acquisitions on using all their equity that they plan to raise for this particular deal.
So overall, synergetic acquisition but expensive one.
This is the coming together of two completely distinct entities. Mankind Pharma, a master of the mass market with products ranging from condoms to vitamin capsules to pregnancy kits. And BSV, a hugely successful innovator in the space of women's health, fertility, and critical care. The backdrop is a fast-growing Indian healthcare market. In fact, Mankind has been wooing BSV for some time and had to compete with PE firms such as EQT, Adya, Warburg Pincus, Chris Capital, Blackstone, and some other strategic suitors to clinch the deal. The last time BSV was sold to PE firm Advent International by its original owners, the Daftari family, it was valued at about 4,000 crore rupees. Mankind is going to buy it at more than 3 times that valuation. So, what attracted BSV to Mankind so much, and how does it add to its business and market share? What is BSV's own turnaround story and USP? How rapidly are the women's health and infertility segments growing? And are there more deals in the offing in the pharma industry? Bringing you all these answers are my colleague and ET's pharma guru Vikas Dandekar, Sheetal Sapale of pharma commerce platform PharmaRack, and one of Mankind's founders, Rajiv Juneja. Listen on. It's Tuesday, the 30th of July. I'm your host Anirban Chaudhary, and this is the Morning Brief. Hi Vikas, very warm welcome to the Morning Brief. Big pleasure, as usual, to have you.
Thank you so much, Anirban. Always good to be here.
Let's talk about the two companies. Now, these two companies, Mankind and BSV, are entities with very, very different genetics. So why don't you start by explaining to me about that?
Yeah, sure, Anirban. Thanks for asking that question. Look, Mankind Pharma's presence has always been mass product. So it has a huge presence in all the major therapy areas like cardiovasculars, diabetes. Plus, it also has a very strong presence in OTC products like Prega News, Manforce, Gasofast. Its start has always been from the rural markets. I mean, that's how the whole organization has grown, by approaching doctors from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And now it has actually got a very wide presence of 4 lakh doctors are covered by Mankind Pharma's medical reps. So this is one side of the story, and that's how it has actually become the 4th largest pharmaceutical company in the Indian market. BSV, on the other side, is again a very old company. I mean, it just started like a blood bank. But right from the beginning, the company has had a very specialized focus on women's healthcare. Women's healthcare and critical care, something that will require a high end of treatment, like in terms of pregnancy-related issues. Some of the products are extremely innovative in nature. So that is what actually brings the two sides on the same platform.
So Vikas, why has Mankind been so keen on BSV?
Oh, yes. So let's go a little behind. So in 2019-20, early 2020, 2019 end, BSV was sold by the Daftari family, the promoters of the company, to Advent International, which is a very big private equity player. And that's where Kotak and OrbiMed got an exit for somewhere around $500 million. Around that time, even Mankind was very interested in that deal, but somehow it found the valuation to be a little high. It is just about 5 years that again the deal came back and Mankind was again interested because the potential of the products were never gone. What had happened and what was very impressive about BSV is that when it was sold, it was actually not doing well to Advent. And Advent had this whole idea of doing a complete management overhaul, doing bit of change in their product portfolio. It scrapped some of its tail end brands. It acquired some portfolio of products from TTK. So in 3 years, they actually bounced the sales from somewhere around 700, 800 crore to 1723 crore to be precise, literally in 3 years. Like this, for fertility and for critical care and for gynecology, in the wider spectrum of products, that's where BSV has a very strong reputation. And all through, Mankind has been wanting to do this gear shift from like a mass market branding to going super specialized. And that is where I think the whole chase was. There were quite a lot of companies, news was about Dr. Reddy's. Maybe they were not okay with the valuation. There were a couple of MNCs also. Basically, you don't see too many of these companies in the market up for sale. Plus, the fantastic turnaround that the company has seen in the last 3-4 years. So, all of these probably made BSV a very attractive proposition for Mankind.
Now, coming to Mankind, I get the feeling, and I'm no expert, please tell me, but I get a feeling from other experts that Mankind has never, for all its business sense and business acumen, never been taken probably as seriously as its peers in the pharma industry. Do you think this deal will completely change its image also, apart from giving it an entry into very, very lucrative segments?
That's an important point. So basically, Mankind's strength in terms of growing the condoms business, bringing out the whole idea of branded products has been very clearly part of their strategy. They have seen that market grow and were very clear about their position in that market. So where others could have also made an entry, but Mankind took that very bold kind of a decision. So having said that, and yes, I mean, in terms of Rajiv Juneja, he always says this, that, I want to be following the Tata group in terms of their reputation, in terms of what they have done to have that kind of a brand image. Now is probably the time to do that kind of a image building where they will go very strong on innovative products. Now, BSV is a very different culture. It's a R&D kind of a setup. A lot of scientists from global MNCs have worked there. Their exports are also growing where, again, Mankind doesn't have too much of exports, whereas BSV has about 550, 600 crore in exports and again growing. So these are the things that probably will, as you rightly said, this will be something that will definitely take Mankind to the next level.
You cited Mr. Juneja in your answer, and I think this is a great segue to the very interesting interview that you had with him. Let's go over to that and see what the founder himself had to say to you about the deal.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us for this ET Morning Brief podcast. Congratulations on this 13,630 crore deal with BSV, and Mankind is all set for a new innovation game for the Indian market and also for the international market. Your initial thoughts, sir?
It's amazing, Fred. Let me again, reiterate what strategy is of Mankind. We wanted to have chronic side of the business. And for that, 5 years back, we opened our office, specialized divisions from Mumbai. So what came the next step forward? That was super specialized business. That basically comes with Bharat Serum. It's a fantastic deal, fantastic entity, which is coming along with amazing patent products, unique products, and in some of the products, the competition is 1 or 2 more countries. Amazing capabilities have come with us.
Do you think innovation is where probably the future belongs for Indian pharmaceutical companies?
Yes, why not? As we are heading towards becoming a developed kind of a country, It's gone are those days when any growing pharma company would depend only on brand generic. R&D, new entities, new chemical entities are supposed to come. Invention is extremely important. And what we have seen the flavor of a result of invention when we, after 9 years of working, could crack strong and became second in the world to make that entity. And then we saw Diadrobone becoming more than 200 crore rupees brand in no time.
Sir, the last question. You've taken a massive, bold call. I mean, we do not see deals of 1.6 billion often for domestic market play, and of course, you also got a lot of exports in BSV. Do you think this is probably where Mankind will consolidate its position before it takes its next big decision in terms of deals?
I'm saying it's a very calculated step. It's not a bold. I'll say yes, bold, but very, very calculated. We are very risk averse. Look, in anything, I mean, it has got everything what Mankind did not have. There's no overlapping of products. Their EBITDA is more than Mankind's EBITDA. The growth is more than Mankind's growth. And when you say the export business, their export is branded products. It's very specialized. It's very niche. It's super specialty business products we are exporting with the highest entry barriers.
Sure.
And for us to really safeguard Mankind, when you build a big castle and where 25,000 people are living, you want that they should prosper, they should be secured. So what do? You make high walls, you make trenches. So Bharat Serum brings that, high entry barriers. To develop a product the lines of Bharat Serum, you need 5-10 years. It's a different company. It's a company with different muscles.
For more insights on how the deal will transform Mankind Pharma, here's Vikas with Sheetal of Pharma Rack.
So, what are your thoughts on how this will help Mankind Pharma grow in new segments and whether it will be transformative for Mankind Pharma?
Actually, BSV portfolio is going to be extremely transformative for Mankind because Mankind was never in the infertility segment. And Bharat Serums has been in the segment for the last 50 years. So they have actually developed a good number of products. They have strength in R&D. And infertility segment, as 5-year CAGR of this portfolio today is almost 19 to 20%. So this is a high growth segment to which Mankind gets access when it acquires BSV's portfolio.
Can you take us through the market, some idea about how the market is evolving for gynecology products in terms of whether it will really boost Mankind? Because for a very long time, we have been knowing that Mankind Pharma has the ambition to be at the top of the Indian pharmaceutical market. Does it really progress it in that direction?
If I were to look at the last 5 years progress of the infertility segment, 5 years back, it was a 500 crore market. Today, it has doubled. It's a 1,000 crore market. The 5-year CAGR of this market is almost 19%. So definitely, this is a high growth segment. And if I were to talk about the consumer population, around 20 million couples in India experience infertility. So basically, the consumer population itself is very huge. Bharat Serums, because of its limited manpower strength, would not have been able to reach this population. But Mankind can definitely reach this high growth population. Also, if you look at Mankind's story of growth, Mankind as a company is one of the fastest growing company in the Indian pharma market. It has got a CAGR, 5-year CAGR of almost 13%. If I were to look at the turnover of Mankind from 6,400 crores 5 years back, today it's a 10,500 crore company. So it is growing itself exponentially and acquiring the right portfolios that will boost its growth.
And what about the pecking order for the Indian pharma market? I believe Mankind was at number 4. Does that change now because it's already top at Sun Pharma, then I think it's Abbott, then Cipla, then Mankind? Does it really take it closer to number 1?
Yeah, Mankind is at number 4 position. With this acquisition, probably it moves one level up. By acquiring Bharat Serums, Mankind now becomes the leader in the infertility segment. But then at the same time, we should also look out for similar acquisitions which Sun Pharma or Cipla might end up making. Because today in this, the top 10, top Mankind temporarily to a higher position, but we just need to wait and watch what others in this top 10 companies may do.
And what do you think about this? Like, Mankind is a mass product company, about 15,000 people as part of their sales division. I think out of that, 12,500 are proper medical reps. That gets added to 2,500. That will be, I think, total people strength in BSV is 2,500. So do you think it probably becomes very heavy in terms of marketing force for Mankind? Do you think there probably will be a chance of some rationalization of brands or products? Do you expect that to happen?
Rationalization of brands and products, not really, because Mankind was never in this segment. Mankind is entering in the infertility segment, and for Bharat Serums, infertility and cardiac products like heparins, fibrinolytics, they are almost 60 to 70% of their portfolio. So rationalization not needed because they have these high-end products. But if you look at Mankind's USP right from the beginning has been affordability and reach. They try to reach as many doctors as possible. Mankind typically initially was a GPCP company. More than 50% of the Indian doctors belong to the GPCP category, and Mankind meets all of them. Also, the Bharat Serums field force that Mankind would be getting after this partnership, these are the people who are specialized in selling these type of products. They know the science behind the product. They have excellent relationship with the doctors who matter for selling these products. So in fact, Mankind may utilize this field force better. In fact, add to this field force because now their geographical reach would increase.
Now, just by focusing on what Mankind did with a very small range of products and then putting so much of money, 13,630 crore, on specialized products, do you think this is also probably a sign of fatigue in too much of branded generic and generic products? Companies are actually trying to focus on very sharp product portfolios and grow very strongly where they have differentiated approaches.
Yes, definitely, because there is typically in the acute segment, there is little that is coming up in terms of innovation or just combinations coming up. Rather than focusing on multiple brands in the same molecule, it really makes sense for a company to enter niche segments and develop a strong customer base in those segments, so that you have the legacy of relationship with those customers.
The kind of growth that you mentioned to me about Mankind Pharma and almost doubling their size, now they're well above 10,000 crore. Do you think the same pace of growth will continue in the Indian pharmaceutical market? Because quickly we are at around $45 billion, or probably even more. You will be able to tell us more about that.
Yes, the Indian pharma market is bound to grow at a very good rate in the coming future because there are many things happening in the market itself and the different segments, not just the trade segment. If I talk about the hospital segment itself is growing with a CAGR of 15% plus. So it's not just the population is increasing, but then different segments which cater to the needs of the Indian healthcare sector are also expanding rapidly. So if I were to just talk about the 5-year CAGR of the Indian pharma market today, it's around 9%. A 5-year CAGR of 9% on a base of 200,000 crores is an excellent growth for any market. And second aspect, if you see, the consumer population today is relatively younger. These high-end products that are getting consumed today are consumed by a younger population who can really afford expensive medicines. So that's the reason why many even companies have seen this opportunity.
What I also heard is that, in addition to Mankind and, some names that have come up in the Indian segment, Dr. Reddy's, plus all the private equity players, I was also told that there was interest from some MNCs as well in BSV's products. So do you think, after having lied low for a very long time, MNCs do want to participate in some kind of a very strong India growth story and start doing their acquisitions? Do you think that trend will also come in?
That trend should also come in because MNCs really don't have anything much left in terms of innovator molecules being brought to the country anymore. There is hardly any patent protected thing coming to the market today. and majority of the molecules are losing patents soon. So how do MNCs grow? They have to enter partnerships to grow. For example, even Novartis has partnered with Mankind, Roche has partnered with Mankind, Astra has partnered with Mankind. They have to partner because Indian companies provide you the reach. The trend that Mankind has shown, or what we are discussing today, is something which is going to be very common in the coming future for majority of the Indian companies, because while organic growth is there to stay, exponential growth comes only when you are focusing on inorganic growth, which is entering the segments which are becoming lucrative very soon, which would be niche segments, OTC products, or something beyond the normal things.
So that was a lot coming from our expert Sheetal Sapale from PharmaRack, and I think quite a lot of takeaways. No fatigue of slowing down of growth in the Indian market, the strong growth of fertility segment itself that will help Mankind, interest from MNCs, and I think what probably is most important is that there may be a lot of action from the top 10 companies in terms of deals and buyouts. So that's a great way to look at the Indian pharma market. Thank you so much, Sheetal ma'am.
Thank you.
That's it for today. You were listening to this episode on The Morning Brief. It was sound designed by Rajas Naik. We hope you liked this episode. Please share and subscribe if you did. Listen to a new episode of The Morning Brief every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday on an audio platform of your choice. Thank you and have a good week. All external clips used in this episode belong to their respective owners. Credits are mentioned in the description.